once they found a boat that was on the river, it ended up being in the middle of the street, and so it gives the name to the street itself.
Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by me, Erica Firpo, a travel journalist based in Rome. Each episode of Ciao Bella, I sit down with Italy's creators, contemporary artists and artisans, designers, culinary experts, heritage brands, and innovative aesthetes, and more who are defining and redefining 21st century Italy. Pull up a chair and join in. Hey, Ciao Bella listeners. Today I'm sitting at my favorite table at Pierluigi, a restaurant that many of you know that I love. It's my neighborhood restaurant. It's my favorite fish restaurant in Rome. But more than that, I'm with my favorite person, Lorenzo Lisi.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Thank you for giving me the time to present Pierluigi and Hotel de Ricci.
Well, I always give you the time. I love hanging out with you, Lorenzo, because aside from the fact that you're so funny, you have such great opinions about things, and you should laugh. You have good opinions. But Lorenzo is an old school Roman friend of ours who just happens to have one of the hottest restaurants in Rome, but also has an incredible boutique kind of secret hotel in this neighborhood. So I first thought we'd talk a little bit about your background and Pierluigi.
Well, I'm a Roman, 100% born and grown. The city, for me, has been always very close connected with the restaurant that my father owns since 1980.
Your dad worked here before he owned it, right?
My dad worked in a restaurant nearby, and then in 1980 he bought this restaurant that was at the time very family run. Was a family, husband and wife with a couple of waiters. It was traditional Roman. My father bought it from them in 1980, and since then we are here. I studied in Switzerland my university time. Hospitality business and economics, applied to hospitality business, and traveled around the world for a while, working in Brazil, Australia, New York, and different places. And then in 2009 I came back to take over the restaurant.
I know you redid it design-wise. I remember that.
Yes.
And one of the things that Darius and I always say about you that we love coming to Pierluigi for the atmosphere. We love coming to Pierluigi for the food. We love seeing you, but we also love seeing you in action because, all of your collective experience. I think your head is like circumferenced by eyes because you're the kind of guy that can be standing in the far corner of the piazza, and you see what's going on at the table completely opposite, and then you give like a look to the waiter, and the waiter knows. It's like you're telepathic, and you have all these eyes. Like it's amazing. Your attention to detail has always astounded me.
When you spend as much time as we do in the restaurant with the same people, you build non-verbal communication, and your staff is capable to understand if you're trying to send them a message. And this is what we do in this business. We have so many clients from so many different locations in the world coming with different expectations. We must be able to recognize what they're waiting for, what they're expecting, and absolutely know how and when what to deliver to these clients.
But I think you guys you're a great team because you're absolutely right. It's like you're all in sync telepathically. You do get each other, and yes, you do have you have a head full of eyes because you see, it's almost like you see stuff before it happens. Now, the thing that I found so cool was that you decided in 2017 that you were going to go beyond the piazza of Pierluigi and around the corner.
Absolutely.
And create probably, I was going to say one of the most unique experiences, but I think that's too many superlatives right there. But an experience that I've never seen in Italy.
It's at the time in 2017, it was against the odds. Everyone was very concerned about the investment and about the results that the investment would have had in time. to open a boutique hotel with the vision of providing square footage to clients that is not very common in Rome, because let's say in an average room in Rome would be 180 square feet. Our smallest room, our smallest suite in our hotel, Hotel de Ricci, is 270 square feet. And most of the rooms, they have balconies, that they are livable, so there is tables, there is couches. It was a gamble. We decided to go for bigger room, 8 rooms, and more space and more service. A tailor-made experience to a high-end clientele that will appreciate to be in a different corner of the city center of Rome. We are not facing the sightseeing and the most important sightseeing of town. We are in a very Roman neighborhood.
Well, let's tell everybody a little bit. Let me localize everyone, because we're on Via Monserrato, which has a few claims to fame. One being that Cy Twombly, my favorite artist, used to live here. The other being that Beatrice Cenci lived here. So if you're into Roman history, which you should be, or Renaissance and Baroque history, not just the ancient stuff. Beatrice Cenci was from a very prestigious family, and she lived up the road in I think it's in the late 1500s. We can talk about her story later, but the point is this is a pretty old neighborhood. The area is called Regola. It's a historic street. It's a tiny street. The buildings are maybe 3 or 4 levels. And your particular building, which I love, it's a beautiful brick building around the corner from a church, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we have the Spanish church in front of us, and we are on this little street that is called Via della Barchetta.
Barchetta?
Barchetta, exactly.
Oh, I wonder why.
Because the Rione, so the neighborhood, it's called Regola, which is a derivation of the original name. That is, it's the sand that was coming into the historical part of town when the Tiber River was flooding due to the rains. And once they found a boat that was on the river, it ended up being in the middle of the street, and so it gives the name to the street itself. Via Giulia is the most important street of this neighborhood. It takes the name from Pope Julius II, who at the time invited all the noble family from south and north of Italy to build their palaces all around this. That was the first straight kilometers in town. So Via Giulia is historically very important, and all the buildings along of it, they are very famous buildings with paintings, frescoes.
Like Palazzo Sacchetti, which is one of my favorite buildings.
Palazzo Sacchetti, Palazzo Ricci. We have frescoes on the facades. It's a unique kilometer in the heart of Rome.
And there's also a high school there. There's from the 1930s. Like it's an incredible incredible road, incredible neighborhood. And at the end, I would say like 200 meters from Hotel de Ricci is Palazzo Farnese and Piazza Farnese, which is the beautiful French embassy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm biased. I live nearby. You live nearby. We know we can't leave this area. We love it,
yes.
But for a reason.
It's the neighborhood as when you look at the neighborhood as a complexity of it, you have the historical side, the historical part of the neighborhood, and you have, but today it's still very Roman, not very touristic. You still have the neighborhood bar where you go every morning and everyone knows each other. You have the marketplace in Campo de' Fiori where you still can find the fresh veggies and all this kind of products. So it is 1 minute far from Piazza Navona, but you are living a different experience of the city center of Rome.
Completely. Now Hotel de Ricci open only 8 rooms. It's one of the few places, and I love how you talked about where everybody was, you really focus on space.
Yes.
And there are only 8 rooms, and they're beautifully designed. can you talk a little bit about the design and the concept behind Hotel de Ricci?
When we built the hotel and we started discussing about what would have been the design and what we wanted to deliver, uh, I had clear that the room had to be big. At the same time, they had to be contemporary, as a from a performance point of view. But I wasn't able to give it the charm that it has today. So we spoke with our friends and neighbors, Chez Dede, who they worked in collaboration with us, and they created the mood and the spirit that you can feel from the entrance, which feels like if you are in a living room, it's more of a living room than the traditional reception you would have in a big hotel, and the charm of the bar that wanted to create a space where everyone can feel comfortable when they have free time and they don't want to stay into their rooms. To the smoking lounge, we have the cigar lounge, which is one of the three available in Rome, and then the wine cellar and the experience around the wine. That was my belief that would have been a kick to the hotel, something different that people can enjoy. And I must say, we got it right. Can't complain.
I think you definitely got it right, and I want to get back into the wine because I think one of the things that I know about you personally is you have an incredible memory. You have a really great memory, you do, and you have an incredible memory with wine. I mean, you have an incredible knowledge of wine combined with your memory, and I think you've kind of funneled that all into, aside from it being already existing in Piero Luigi, because I love eating downstairs in the wintertime in the little wine area, the big wine area, but. Hotel de Ricci has a big wine focus. Is that part of the experience in the rooms as well?
Absolutely. When we built Hotel de Ricci, we wanted to give this local and friendly kind of approach. Very detailed. Everything the experience in the hotel. It's custom made. It's tailor made for each client, and the wine part too. Each room was thought with a wine cellar inside, and we customize each room and each wine cellar depending on the requests of our client, because we felt that being in Italy and being on vacation and knowing our clientele, we know that wine is a big part of each person's vacation, and so we have a wine list that goes more or less 1,800 labels with all the different vintages. So we have a huge, a wide selection of wines.
Is it just Italian?
No, very international. We have, we won the Wine Spectator Award during the last 5 years. We have a huge selection of wines from everywhere in the world, and we are capable to provide and satisfy most of the requests of our client. And this obliged us, not only, it's not easy to put a wine cellar inside the room and get to the success just because there is a wine cellar. Or our employees in the hotel, they come from a sommelier background, so they're all wine experts who have been trained in hospitality business, especially in front office and this kind of reality, which is different from a restaurant. And that allowed us to have a team capable of welcoming clients from the hotel point of view, but at the same time to be always available and provide with every questions, requests, or explanations about the wines, wine tastings. It's a lot of fun.
I think you guys definitely have a lot of fun. I know that you have wine programming also in the bar, which is called Charade.
Yes.
Or charade, as you could say in American English. And there are at least monthly events where a winemaker comes. There are tastings. As a guest in the hotel, so if I were to book a room, you would ask me your wine experts would, and your front staff would ask me what kind of wines I like, and that would be curated for my room.
Absolutely. The reservation process is tailor-made. We ask everything about what if they have any requests for the time that they're spending in Rome, if they want to organize tours or all these kind of things. And part of the process is about their wine cellar and if they have any preferences. Otherwise, we take the freedom of giving a selection of from north to south of Italy that people can enjoy if they want to.
Can guests also, are you organizing experiences like wine taste, like not wine tastings, but visits to?
Yes, we do have a selection of experiences that we can do or while they're in Rome, which means that it would be a day trip to different wine producers that are outside the city. The most famous region is Frascati because it's the most representative region outside Rome. The wine, Frascati wine, it's traditional of the town. But we do have other small production that you can reach with a driver during the day. Over there would be the wine tasting, a little food, and then you come back. But otherwise, we do have experiences that they take a little bit longer. We have a 3 days experience that we can do, or in Tuscany or south of Italy, or you can ask for the 6-7 days experience, which is Tuscany and north of Italy, or maybe Piedmont or the Veneto area, which is the Franciacorta wines or the Valpolicella wines and all these things. The wine experience itself, it's very strong in what we want to give to our clients.
Well, I wanted to ask you. I think wine's become a lot. I don't want to say easier, but there's been a lot of innovation. Italy has had, I think, we've been seeing more and more Italian winemakers, small winemakers, women winemakers, natural winemakers. And I wanted to ask you if you had any in particular that recently or in the past few years that have you're like, that's really cool. I really like what they're doing. If you want to share that with me.
Look, I cannot say names because I know personally most of them. But what I can say is these organic, natural, bio wine production it was in need, first of all. The beautiful thing is that not only the younger productions or new productions are approaching this new, this new policy, this new belief of producing wines in a more sustainable and a more natural way. There is a lot of new or a lot of old and big productions that they are starting the change of their way of winemaking, of their way of the wine process, and they are focusing much more on the natural way that the wine should be done without using all the chemicals and this kind of thing. On the other side, it has always to be considered that it's not so easy a change for a big company that goes from something that is stable and successful already and change the policy. But this is becoming the new way of winemaking. So we're very happy to embrace it, and clients love it. So can't complain.
All right, let's play a little game. You are a good eater. I'm a good eater. It's hot. It's really, really hot. You're in Rome. What's the one dish you should have for lunch and the glass of wine? You don't have to name the label. Just
but if you're in Rome and it's hot, it's complicated. If you're on vacation, you have whatever you want, whatever you feel. I can imagine you're coming from New York, you are in Rome, you have whatever you want. You want to have a huge amatriciana and outside is 100 degrees, have it. Anyway, you have air conditioning in your taxi, in your Uber, and so you can enjoy your time. But Rome is pretty hot in summer, so maybe you're having If you're at Pierluigi, you're having a Catalana salad, which is the salad with prawns and cherry tomatoes and rocket. Or otherwise a tartare, a nice, very cold, chilled white wine, or a nice rosé, or maybe a Pinot Noir if you want to go for a red. But if you're on vacation, just enjoy it as much as you can. After the 2 years of COVID, we have to enjoy every minute.
Well, what's your favorite pasta dish?
I'm gonna say in my restaurant is the lobster pasta.
You know what my favorite is?
Which one?
Carbonara al mare.
Carbonara di mare.
Yes, the carbonara di mare is my favorite.
It is a fantastic pasta. It is funny even for us to create it. We changed the traditional recipe, which would be eggs and the pancetta or guanciale. We changed it to, instead of using eggs, we use sea urchins. Instead of using the pork, we use the tuna that we process just as if it was the traditional pork. And the result is great. It's very funny to make it. It's very funny to taste it. It tastes delicious. We realized that many people never had sea urchins before, which was very surprising. But it's always a win, which means that it works.
Oh, it totally works. And it's like, I'm a carbonara, like I could eat it every single day, but then it gets too hot.
Yes.
And that's why the carbonara di mare is, like, for me, the perfect choice.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much for making it. And I'm going to have that on Tuesday night. Last question. What would you consider the 21st century Italian identity to be like? I think, it seems like there's, especially post-COVID, there's been this resurgence of, Italian identity, and I don't mean politically. I mean in, like, manifattura, for example, Hotel de Ricci, one of the things that I love about it is it is really strong in its Italian identity and its Roman identity, working with local designers. The elements that are in there are Roman. Curious as to your thoughts.
I think that after these 2 years of COVID, we were a little bit abandoned to ourselves. We didn't have any opportunity coming from the outside, so we had to do an introspection. We had to look at the local market and reconsider the opportunities. And this is an argument that has touched everyone, not only hospitality business, but even factories and all the manufacturing. So I think that the future will be more and more focused and characterized by an Italian taste, stronger Italian taste, stronger Italian appeal. At the same time, collaborations, as you mentioned, they became very, very important. We were capable, and we realized that bringing into a new project or bringing together excellences as from different kind of businesses, as Chedede for the decor and the wine world for their production, it increased the results, and it gave more strength to your project. And this is happening more and more. Our city will be, in the coming 3 to 4 years, will have a different face. International companies are coming. Rome is becoming more and more appealing to everyone, and this hopefully will be very good for Italy and for our town.
I think it will be. Now let's let everybody know where they can find, aside from walking down, taking a ride at Piazza Farnese and walking down Via Monserrato. Where can we find you? So we can go on Instagram. Is it Hotel de Ricci on Instagram?
Absolutely, Hotel de Ricci on Instagram and
Pierluigi Ristorante on Instagram, correct?
Exactly, Pierluigi Roma.
Pierluigi Roma, and then the website.
The hotel, www.hotelderici.com, and pierluigi.it.
Perfect. So if you're not in Rome, but you want to take a walk through Rome, go to those 2 Instagram pages, and maybe you'll even see me on them. Thanks, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much, Erika.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. If you'd like to know more about today's guest, please visit ciaobella.co and click on the podcast link, or go directly to ciaobella.co/podcast. Want more Italy? You can find all my episodes on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher. When you have time, subscribe to iTunes and rate the podcast. What are you waiting for? And if you want to be part of the podcast, email me or DM me your Italy questions. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao, Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.